Dr. Zhivago back from a Montana ski vacation weekend during the holidays. Very popular guy on Coast to Coast and SportsGrid across the board. It's Dr. David Chow, everyone, from SixScore.com, SportsInjuryCentral.com. Very popular site. Not as popular as Dr. Zhivago, though. You can follow him on X at ProFootballDoc. My sources tell me Doc was spotted doing helicopter moves off of bumps, which is a nice way of saying he was doing full 360s off of moguls, skiing down the mountain, impressing his family and children with his style and grace in the air with the heli skis. I mean, he had it all going on vacation in Montana. Good to see you, Dr. Zhivago. Let's start with this. How do teams weigh out playing guys and keeping their timing versus protecting them from getting injured when there isn't anything on the line? Which is, in Portuguese, no one is playing in any of these games this weekend, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, and it's hard because, with 53 active players on the roster, 46 active, it's only 7 that you really rest and maybe some practice squad call-ups, right? So you can't rest everyone. Let's take the Chiefs, for example. You're going to have to rest Chris Jones because of his calf. You have to rest DJ Humphries because of his hamstring. You're probably going to rest Pacheco because of his ongoing ankle and recovery. You don't want to risk Mahomes and Travis Kelce, who's old. So you really only got 2 more spots. It's not like you can rest the whole offensive line or the whole defensive line or the whole thing. Then someone's still got to play the game. And that's what makes it hard, et cetera. And then, as Bill Belichick said, how do you tell one person he's sitting and the guy next to him, you have to play really hard? So this is the toughest week of the year to predict who's in, who's out, in injury relations, et cetera.
What is the deal with Tua Tagovailoa?
Yeah, that's worrisome to me. Look, the team is saying it has not related at all to the college hip dislocation. It's, quote, a different part. But when you dislocate your hip, it's kind of all the hip that's damaged. And let's hope it's not related to the hip dislocation issue. We went back, and the team at Sports Injury Central looked at video week 15 and 16. We didn't see an injury that would be explained by this practice pattern. Tua says if they make it to the playoffs, he's definitely playing, but he's missing week 17 and 18, and they got to win to even have a chance to get in this week, but it'll be a Snoop Huntley at this point in time. So until we get the definition of what the hip injury really is, we have some worry for Tua.
So is Higgins and Chase playing against the Steelers tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in Pittsburgh?
Against your Steelers? Well, I'll give you the good news. I don't believe Chase Brown is playing for your Steelers. And obviously you've talked about the wind and the cold and you're going to the game, and the Bengals need a run game. Why? He's got a mild high ankle sprain. What's the big deal? Patrick Mahomes played through a high ankle sprain. Justin Herbert played through a high ankle sprain. But Chase Brown is a running back. It's just different requirements. I think it's very difficult to play through a high ankle. And for a running back, there's no such thing, I think, as a mild high ankle sprain. So I don't think he goes, but T. Higgins should be able to go.
The Bucs need to win, but have major offensive pieces banged up. What's the status?
Yeah, they got some injuries on both sides of the ball. And, I'm almost more worried about defense in their secondary. They've got a couple guys out. Winfield's going to be out again, and they're at least half their secondary is out. But you know what? They've got a lot to play for, and their opponent doesn't. And they don't have to cover the spread. They just need to win, and they're going to host a game, a wild card game.
So the Packers are all kinds of banged up. What's their sixth score as a team, and who's in, who's out?
Well, this is where we're going to wait until the final reports are out, because what we're doing this week for the six scores is if a player sits because of rest, because of injury risk, we're treating them as injured. If Patrick Mahomes is out, we're treating him as injured, right? And so we're going to look at the final numbers here. But yeah, Packers will be banged up some, but it still seems like they've got enough to beat the Bears at home. And let's face it, they don't want to end up in the 7th seed and go to Philadelphia.
What do the guys at Sick think of Anthony Richardson's back problem that he's now saying he's had basically his whole life? Like, what is happening here?
Well, since I just got back from skiing, we've said all along at Sports Injury Central, we have worry about Anthony Richardson last year when he got hurt early in the season for running. Running is part of his game. And if you run as part of your game, the defenders are going to hit you. It's like if you keep skiing double black diamonds, you're more likely to get hurt than me, who's skiing greens and blues at this point in time. And a disc issue is not something to take lightly. Sometimes that leads to surgery. So I don't believe the rumors of, I know he's getting grief for, quote, tapping out earlier this season. This is not a tap out on his part. I think he has a real injury. But that brings up other real concerns. A disc, does he need surgery? How bad is it? And yes, I think there are some long-term question marks in terms of how available he will be, right? Your best ability is your availability sometimes.
Is Hurts going to be a problem for the Eagles with his concussion?
I don't believe so. This is why I've been saying that I didn't think there was any chance that he would play in Week 17, and that extends to Week 18. 95% of concussions clear by 2 weeks. I don't think the Eagles have pushed his concussion clearance yet, because what happens if he takes a hit in practice or in the game? A second concussion within a week or two will have him out for a month, which is all the playoffs, right? Look at Chris Olave, look at Tua Tagovailoa. So the Eagles are just being safe. He'll be there for the wild card round for the Eagles.
Real quick, in terms of Brock Purdy, is he going to have elbow surgery again?
No, it's related injury to the elbow. When you do that Tommy John type surgery on collateral, you move the ulnar nerve. He just got his ulnar nerve dinged, and I don't think there's any worry for further surgery. I don't think there's any contractual worry in terms if the 49ers want to sign him. There's no reason not to with that elbow.